Hi there, kids. Why, hello. I have no idea if we have a good picture or not, but I'll check and see. Thank you for stopping in. Stevie Coyle here. Mighty Fine Guitars, Lafayette, California. Let's see what's happening, if anything's happening. Will you look at that? Things are happening. Not a bad picture, but not a good one either. Let me see if I can straighten that out a little bit. How about like that? Maybe a little closer. How's that? Not so bad. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'm running the show by myself today, and I have just one guitar to show you. You know, looking back on these Friday noontime webcasts, as I did finally, man, I talk a lot. I just go on and on and on. So I'm really going to, and I've said this before, I've seen myself say this before, but I have not done it yet. I'm going to try and confine myself to one guitar and just a few minutes. Last week, there was a question. In fact, I'll wait just a couple of minutes here to see if anybody else wants to stop in. Last week, there was a question about what are the oddest guitars in the shop. And it's not like this is a freak show in here or anything, but there are, let's face it, some mighty unusual instruments in mighty fine guitars. That's just a true fact. This is one that has been odd for more than 30 years. It's a very modern guitar. Instead of being odd in the respect that it's very old, like the old Gibson back here, this L1, you probably see it over my shoulder, can you? Maybe not today. I have it somewhere else. This is, the one I'm going to show you today is a Klein guitar, designed, I should say, by Steve Kline back in the 80s. And in fact, here it is. I'm not even sure this is all going to fit in the picture. Let me keep an eye on my laptop, or the iPad here, to make sure this is all going to fit. There it is. Good heavens, what a huge thing. It'll take me just a second to get over there and see what your comments and questions are, but I will get to them. This is the one guitar I'm going to feature today, just one. And it's this one. Huge, immense. 19 inches across here. Do I have the specs on here? I've forgotten. Not really, but really immense across the lower bout and wide across the waist as well, which means that, of course, it's going to sit up high in your lap. Let's see if we can crank this down just a little bit more. See more of the guitar. Huge sounding thing. Of course it is, with the bass amplified by the size of the guitar, not only the size of the guitar, but the bracing inside, which is really radical. This is not X-braced. There are a couple of really parabolic style braces inside here. There's, notice that the bridge is much bigger on the bass side than it is on the treble side. This guitar is from 1986. Do I have that right? Yeah. I think this one is from 1986. It's Sitka on the top and walnut on the back and sides. And it's a beast. I'll play it for you a little bit. Let me know if this is too loud. In fact, I should click over and make sure I'm catching your comments here and that this is actually going out to the stratosphere. Hi, Bill. Hi, Michael. Hi, Blackie. Hey, Blackie. Blackie Farrell. Great songwriter. Not a good songwriter, a great songwriter. Mama Hated Diesels, Sonora's Death Row, written songs for Robert Earl Keen, for Bill Kirchen, who had a birthday just a few days ago. Happy birthday, Bill. Kay, nice to see you. Hey there, Frank. Frank, fearsome fingerstyler from Pennsylvania. Frank Vituski, excellent. Who else we got here? David Martin, excellent. Local lad, great singer-songwriter. Just saw you with Carlos Reyes. Wonderful show, terrific. Lynette Olson, old Salinas pal, go Cowboys. Although you were a Notre Dame gal, you weren't a Cowboy, you weren't a Salinas High person. Bob Oswald, how are you? Nice to see you, another local lad by way of Brooklyn. Hey Jim, Jerry Cross, Bill Quinlan, BQ, Santa Clara, go Broncos. Jim Kimo West, excellent. Fabulous. You don't know that you know Jim Kimo West, but you do. Weird Al, that's Weird Al's guitarist, as well as a fearsome Hawaiian slack key player. John DeLapp, hey John, wonderful builder. Wow, they're all here. All right, tell you what, this lighting is not optimal, is it? Let me see if I can fix that just a little bit. It'll take just a second. That's got to be a little better, huh? Let's try that. And I'll go back to your comments and questions. Like I said, folks, today, just one guitar. Just because I tend to natter on, and these shows become unwatchable. They're so long, so I'm going to keep it short. Just one guitar, really radical build. This is a Steve Klein guitar. Now, I keep referring to it as a Klein, but it was built, actually. Steve Klein himself built perhaps the first 20 Klein guitars, and after that, they were all built by a fellow named Steve Kaufman, who had guitars under the same kind of design, roughly Kasha-style design guitars, under his own name as well, and a wonderful builder. He's brought me more cool stuff. It's just quite astonishing. So I'll play this thing so you can actually hear it, and let me know if this is going to be too loud, because it's just so loud. If it's too loud for the mic. Now this is screaming at me, Stevie, put me in a drop tuning, and I will, but first, in a standard tuning. Big everywhere, a huge bass, of course, but the trebles are really punchy, really forward kind of guitar. It doesn't hold back. Now that has something to do with the really radical bracing and the bridge design. These principles were developed by a guy named Kasha, Michael Kasha, and primarily for classical guitar, but the principles have translated over for many builders into this non-traditional, non-X-brace style of bracing and build. The size of the guitar, it's big and it's loud, but it's not immense. It's not unwieldy. The proportions are all, in fact, you can see the golden mean all over this thing. Remember that Nautilus spider, that Nautilus sort of image we all see when we're talking about the golden mean? That's what's happening here. I've forgotten exactly what the proportions are, but you can see it moving through the guitar here. Artists there, well, perhaps you can tell me better about how the golden mean visually moves through this guitar. It's the fingerboard. Let me make sure I'm getting this in the picture. There's such a delay. Notice that the headstock, rather, not the fingerboard. Well, the fingerboard, too. Check it out. It's got a 0 fret, which means you've got a really positive end to the string length. Instead of having sort of something made of bone or plastic or some sort of composite material, ivory, God forbid, on old guitars, this has got a metal 0 fret. So that gives you a super positive end to the string. Especially if you do alternate tunings, those low strings can really carve out the notch in the nut and leave you with an uncertain as to where the end of the string is. This you know because it's sitting on metal. The headstock too kicks back pretty severely, and this is kind of sort of emulates the idea of a slotted headstock, putting more down pressure on the nut and ostensibly perhaps more up pressure on the back of the guitar, on the operating end where the noise is made here at the bridge. These poor guitars haven't been played in months. Really rumbly, especially on that low string. Let me look at your notes and make sure that the sound is okay. Is that overdriving the mic? Hated when things overdrive the mic. On the other hand, hey, Fader Martin Homer, BQ Jerry Cross. Let's see who else we got online here. Very good. Hey, Ken Louie, more Salinas high types. Very good. Joey Fabian, wonderful bass player. Hey, Joey, how are you? Is the sound okay? Somebody type in and let me know if the sound is okay, especially when the guitar is being played. That'd be cool. I think I could come down on my picture just a little bit. So much easier when Miss Valerie is co-piloting, or is actually piloting. If this guitar looks a little familiar to you, it may be because you've seen this, and I wish I could remember the name of the album, but this was the cover image for a Joni Mitchell album, I believe. Joni Mitchell was big on Klein. In fact, if you can find it, I found it once on YouTube. I haven't gone looking for it again, and it appears and disappears strangely over the months, but there's an interview of Joni Mitchell, ostensibly about her tunings, where she talks about her tunings and what she's going for in a song, which was fascinating because she was talking about this is the home chord, and this is the chord of uncertainty, and this is the chord of I think I know how to deal with this situation, and this is the chord of, you know, plummeting from a great height. She was talking about her chords, and she didn't exactly know what she was playing. She knew the sound she was after. She was constructing a chord, frequently in an alternate tuning, and frequently on a Klein guitar because they're so resonant heavy. They're so resonant and so overtone heavy. Sing over this. In a corner by the square, the usual crowd was assembled, and Big Joe McKinney was there. He was standing at my shoulder. His eyes were bloodshot red. Spoke to the crowd assembled, and these are the very words that he said. Let her go. I went down to St. James Infirmary. Help me out, Frank. I saw my baby there. She was laid out on a cold white table. So cold, so white, so fair. Man, hugeness. Checking for your comments and questions. Hello, Scotland. Irene and Ian, nice to see you. Very good. Victor Landweber, Don Clark, Bruce Kaplan, Jennifer Martin. Good heavens. Bruce Victor, how are you? For the record, really, really good point about the 0 fret, which is why all files have a 0 fret. Yes, indeed. And Bruce, wouldn't you agree that that's a great help when you're spinning in and out of various alternate tunings so that you know you're not carving away the depth and the placement of the end of your string at the nut? See more. I think I will. Get the number of dadgaddists in these. Yes, that's right. Filed. British Isles, Ireland. A lot of British Isles and Irish people play files, and they're doing dadgad, and they're swinging in and out of that dadgad tuning, so they're carving away, you know. So 0 fret is very useful. There's something very positive feeling about it too. There's a little psychological impact about knowing that you've got string ends that are solid. Lovely thing. And I just can't resist. Can't hold back any longer, folks. I'm going to drop D. Cover me. I'm going in. Oh, what a visceral hit. I can feel that rattling my lungs and my chest, and I like it. You can put him in a box 6 feet down till you hear that coffin sound. You can weep and you can moan, but that old boy is never coming home. Another man done a full go round. Another man done a full go round. We can tell our tales, we can laugh and joke, ponder all day about the words he spoke. You can't run and you can't hide when death come creeping up by your side. Another man done a full go round. Another man done a full go round. It's like having a tuba on your lap or coming out of your chest. Up the road and around the bend, thought I saw that Jersey devil dancing in his moccasin. Oh man. Try a little double drop D maybe. And I will get to your comments and questions because, as I said, this is a very short show today. And it's only featuring one guitar. Wow, I'm thunderstruck. And it's a beautiful thing. You know, you as a guitarist are usually looking at the neck, you know, or the fingerboard. And look at what you get to look at. Am I getting this in the picture? I hope so. Look at that. Man, lovely inlaid position markers and purfling all the way around. Binding is lovely. And this has got some sort of pickup system in it. It's a very particular sort of thing, and even the owner doesn't know what it is. It's a microphone and an undersaddle and a top style pickup, not an undersaddle, but a top style pickup. Notice too that the bridge has individual saddles. This can be rigged for a MIDI setup where you could send out each string to a different MIDI setting. You could have the low string could be tuba, bassoon could be your fourth string, you could have a piccolo on your highs, you know, whatever you like. It can be rigged that way. And access to these guitars inside is through this big port here in the bottom. You just pop that right off and you can get inside and do all kinds of stuff. So you don't have to reach inside and try and reach from there to there, which, unless you got a long, skinny, bendy arm, it's not going to happen. So access to the inside of the guitar is through here. And I wish I knew what that pickup was. I've looked at it several times. The mic doesn't look familiar. It's a little round capsule, little barrel-shaped capsule. And lattice bracing across the back. Let me see if I can get a good angle on the light here. Come on, catch up, picture. Catch up. Well, at any rate, the back is lattice braced, X-braced across the back. Haven't played that one in a long time. I gotta put that back together. The Blacksmith, Andy Irvine. It's an orchestra. It really is. This is a Klein cutaway. I'm not sure I would use the cutaway. Oh, a thing I need to mention to you as well is look at the heel of the guitar here. How about that little minimalist heel? Tells you something about the construction inside. There's a wonderful book written by a fellow right here in Lafayette, California. His name is Paul Schmidt. And he's written a book all about Klein guitars. It's these, and it's called, I'll post it in the comments below. The name is escaping me at the moment. Paul, are you online? Can you shout it out, whatever it is? Wonderful book that shows you what's going on inside here and the history of Klein guitars, which are still being made these days. Klein is building a little, what does he call it, a Kleincaster, like a little Telecaster sort of thing with some radical designs that apparently was a huge hit at NAMM a year or two ago. And so guitars are still being made. In fact, there was one that a fella commissioned through the shop here. It was redwood top and Cocobolo back and sides or Brazilian back and sides. I think it was Brazilian back and sides and a redwood top. And redwood can be wonderful, but it can be doggy as well. Sorry, dogs. It can be kind of thick sounding and woofy, to continue the analogy, the canine analogy. So you never know. I was nervous as a cat when the guitar finally came in months and months later, and they met here, the builder and the buyer met here. And I looked at Steve Kaufman and I said, how'd it turn? I said, it's great. It's a great guitar. And I thought, okay, good, because I've been nervous about it. Because what if it happened to be one of those slices of redwood that doesn't comport well, doesn't play well with other woods? And the owner picked it up and tuned it briefly and played it, and it was glorious, absolutely glorious guitar. So there's all kinds of wood and body configurations. This is the big-ass guitar. I think this is the 45.7. This is big. myself of all kinds of tunes I should relearn. Anyway, this is the Klein 45.7. It's on sale here. Normally this guitar would be somewhere 12, 13. Certainly new would be much more than that. I think the owner would part with this for somewhere close to 10-ish. Just a suspicion. And it comes with, if I could lift the damn thing, I'd show you the case it comes with. It comes with its own custom Colton case. And, because that's not enough, and now how much would you pay? But wait, there's more. There's also a Colorado case cover with a big sort of yin-yang single emblazoned on it. It's quite a kit, and you need a Sherpa to carry it if you're of a certain age. It's a beast. The guitar itself is big. Not particularly heavy, but it's real big, like I say, across the waist and across the lower bout. So it sits up high on your lap. You might feel like Kilroy playing it. And the case is immense as well, and heavy. It's a Colton case, like I say, a custom Colton case with the name Kline emblazoned across it. So to disguise that when you're traveling with it, you can put it in a Colorado case cover, which will make this enormous thing ostensibly less noticeable, less ostentatious. Nah, it's an immense kit any way you look at it. But all of that comes together for somewhere 10-ish, maybe a little south, a little north, somewhere like that. Make me an offer. Make me an offer. Crazy Stevie's Guitar Emporium. I must be insane. So this is the Klein guitar, the one guitar we're featuring today. And thank you very much for tuning in. I do webcasts from my secret underground lair on Thursday afternoons at 1:30 and Monday nights at 7:30 Pacific Daylight Time. Adjust accordingly. Ian and Irene, you're a whole day ahead sometimes. Tune in then. What else do I have to sell you? Only the fact that the website is open. You can buy guitars right off the website. If you got any comments or questions, let me know. More stuff going up on the website all the time. Guitars going out all the time, which is kind of astonishing. We do a little drug deal in the parking lot. I set the guitar down. I glove up and mask up and set the guitar down out in the parking lot, and people come scuttling out of their vans and SUVs and pick things up and tuck them away. And that's how guitars get sold. If you live close enough, feel free to ask me for a sleepover. We'll work it out. You can take the guitar home for a couple of days just because the shop is not open yet. You know what I mean? So sleepovers are entirely workable. And if you want to buy something right off the website, who could say no? I'll ship it to you. If it's love, I'll keep the money and you keep the guitar. If it's not, just ship it back and pay shipping both ways. That works too. So all these shipping boxes are over here. They're ready. Their guitars ready to go out to people that have bought guitars off of the website, mightyfineguitars.com. No capitals at all, just all small letters, small m, small I, etc. mightyfineguitars.com. I've got a YouTube channel. I'm on the social media. I was an early adopter. I don't think I've quite caught up to TikTok yet, and probably won't. But you can find me on Instagram, on various channels on Facebook, and I really appreciate you tuning in. Let me check and see if you got any questions here before I sign off. Oh, very good, David Martin. Glad to hear that the low end comes through on your desktop Bose system. Great. That's good to know. Always wonder about this. So many variables. But this little mic, the Raspberry from Blue, seems to work pretty well in most applications. Mary Jean Oliva, go Broncos. Nice to see you. Very good. Lots of old college pals. Richard Brandenburg, John DeLong. Terrific. Bob Mokel. Hi there. Wow, it's an SCU fest. This is great. Guy Zoller, thanks for tuning in. Bev Grants, Sean Mann, very good. Nice to see you. There's Irene Espiritu. Look up Irene too, folks. Go back through this list and look up some names because they play wonderful music. Bruce Kaplan, Irene Espiritu, Rebecca Parks. I don't think she's got a lot of stuff on the YouTubes, but a wonderful fingerstyle guitar player. Bruce Victor plays with a duo called Noctambule, Noctambule, Noctambule. Nocturnal Ambulations, kind of wonderful duo with Marla Feibisch. Bruce plays various 6 and 12 and 8-string instruments, often in very alternate tunings, and Marla plays lots of mandolinish kind of stuff and tenor guitar stuff, and they're wonderful. Noctambule is great. Let me go through here a little bit more. Bruce Kaplan, very good. Bruce Kaplan and Claudia Russell, you bet. Judy Peer, Carl Garfinkel, sounds very transparent without distortion. On the iPhone X, that's great. The 10 is good, great. Running through a decent Denon amp and my Paradigm. Thank you, Paul. This is all valuable information. I really appreciate all of this feedback, the good kind. You know what I mean? All right. Well, I don't think there are any comments or questions that I need to deal with. Any comments or questions? I'll hang tight for one more second, and then I'll sign off with real huge gratitude to all of you for tuning in today. My name's Stevie Coyle. I'm based out of a shop called Mighty Fine Guitars in Lafayette, California. The shop is not open exactly, but if you want to come by, what I'll do is you can look in the door and point at the ones you want to look at, and I'll bring them out onto the picnic table, which is very comfy on a day like this. I'll bring them out to the picnic table. You can play them for a little bit. I'll take them back inside. I'll be all gloved and masked up, and I'll put them back in the section that is the wait 3 days section before anybody else plays it section. There are ways to work around this virus, and this is a perfect time. It's a really good time. Who knows if it's perfect? It's a really, really good time to get going on all those New Year's resolutions from years past. I'm going to play guitar. This is the year I'm going to play guitar. Well, this might be the time for you to play guitar. I give lessons as well. My God, I'm tired of talking about me. I'm going to sign off. Nice to see you, folks. See you down the road, and whatever you do, don't touch your face. This is going to be particularly awkward. Look away, because this is going to be very dizzyfying. I need to reach behind this thing and fumble for the button.